There's a slow way and there is a fast way to trim. In this video, not only are you going to learn the fastest way to trim your footage, but you're going to learn how to organize your sequence to track your progress throughout your edit. Let's get after it. The first thing we're gonna do is get rid of the fat. We'll be going through and trimming off all the video that we don't need while emphasizing the pieces that we do need. The reason we do this is because one, get rid of the shit we don't need. We wanna get rid of this to speed up our workflow. And number two, we wanna emphasize the good. So let's get it. All right, so the first thing you're gonna do when your project is open up is come down here to your project panel. You're gonna select your sequence and we're gonna duplicate it by hitting Command C and then Command V. On the bottom one, we're gonna select it, hit enter to rename it and call this trim underscore and put today's date. Every time a new sequence is made, we're gonna date it, and we are going to make a lot of new sequences. So go ahead and double click into your trim sequence. Make sure it's open and go to the very first frame. We're gonna watch the first couple of clips and see what we got. So that's the first one, that's the second one, and that's the third one. Yeah, these are not gonna be used. These are kind of just practice. So let's go ahead and delete these out of our timeline by clicking and dragging, selecting them all and hitting delete. Then all we're gonna do is click in this empty space, right click it and hit ripple delete. It's gonna bring all of our footage to the beginning of our timeline. All right, so these next two clips, T004 and T005, we're actually not gonna use either of those. We're also practice takes. So let's go ahead and delete those by selecting. We're gonna right click and ripple delete once again. T006, this is going to be our first clip in the timeline. What we're gonna do is go to the very beginning of this clip, we're gonna play it, and we're gonna listen for the words action.
Hold up.
Camera set.
On what cue do I go?
Action, on action, okay? And Ugo, you ready? And action, Ugo. And that's the action we're looking for. In this case, it's action, Ugo. So what we're gonna do is keep our playhead where it's at, and we're gonna hit Q. Q is gonna delete everything to the left of the playhead. We don't want the word action in there. We're looking for just the meat, and everything in between action and cut is the meat. All right, now what I want you to do is go to the very end of this, right where you see these waves, and we're gonna listen for the word cut.
Cut!
There it is. So this little waveform right here, that's the director screaming cut. We're gonna move the playhead before that waveform, and we're gonna hit W. W is gonna ripple everything to the right of the playhead. Everything from the top of this clip to the tail of this clip is meat that we could potentially use for the edit. That's what we're trying to do today, is get rid of the fat and emphasize the meat. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do that for every single clip. We're gonna go through, we're gonna listen for action, and we're gonna listen for cut. Q and W are going to be your best friends today. So let's do one more before I fast forward this process. Let's listen for action.
Action, Ugo!
Action Ugo again. I'm gonna pause it. I'm gonna hit Q. It's gonna delete everything before that. Let's scroll to the end. Let's get closer on this waveform.
Action! Cut!
And there's cut. We're gonna go right before cut. We're gonna hit W. I call this process top and tail cutting, and by doing this, you educate yourself with the footage and get rid of the shit while emphasizing the meat to your story, letting the footage sink deeper and deeper into your brain. So I'm gonna go through this. I'm gonna cut out all the actions and all the cuts. I will see you in a minute. If you'd like to follow along, you can download the entire project file along with the assets we actually used in this project in the link in the description. All right, awesome. So I have gone through and I have chopped off all the actions and cuts. So all that should be left is the meat. There are some clips that started with action and then got messed up in the middle. So all I did was make my cut mark where I thought the meat was turned into fat. For example, in clip T009, we actually missed the focus. So we wanted to redo the shot. I decided to cut it out when it got really blurry. I moved my cursor to the point I wanted and I hit W. Like I said, this is a grueling process, but is so helpful in the long run. But now that you have the meat, it's time to separate these clips into your shot types, and we are doing that next. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to leave a comment down below and let me know. We will see you in the next one. If you like that video and you want to watch how I made the creative decisions on which shots were good and which shots were bad, you can watch that video right here. Yeah, that's enough space. Sweet.